Hi, how are you? Good evening, everyone. So, I've come again to give a line by line explanation of Unit 3, Class 10, the lesson His First Flight. So, I have gathered some important points to give you line by line explanation wherein you won't be finding anywhere, children. So, pay attention and listen to the lesson carefully. Children, once you have to understand why I am here to give you full explanation on this lesson. See, already you have enjoyed lot many days of your summer vacation. Now come back, children. It's your responsibility to take up, dust your books and check the status of your where you have stopped your learning process. See, this is a continuous learning process where you have to have an idea on. So I am on the track and already I have given you a good lot of explanation on the thief story where you must have listened to. I'm sorry, children, there is a lapse in that one this thing because my voice wasn't clear. That day I had no idea of taking out my mic and give you the explanation very clearly. And after I posted, I realized it. So again, I had to dig out my mic, and now that I am giving you the explanation in the mic. Children, coming to the point, the first title itself tells you how this lesson goes on and how you people will be encouraged by listening to this lesson. The author of this lesson is Liam O'Flaherty. So once again, I'm repeating. The name of the author is Liam O'Flaherty. So coming to the author, I will give you some small part of explanation about the author. So just listen to it and try to understand. Children, coming to Liam O'Flaherty was a very famous Irish novelist and is a short story writer. So once again, Liam O'Flaherty, he was a very famous Irish novelist and a short story writer. He was born on 28th August 1896 on the Arna Islands, Ireland. Now he grew up in a place surrounded by the sea and nature. From his childhood, he closely observed the ocean waves, seabirds, animals, the beauty and struggles of nature. These childhood experiences influenced his writings. So now that you must have understood why he has written the story, The First Flight. Liam O'Flaherty's stories are famous for describing nature, human emotions, courage, fear, struggle, and survival. You will be finding all these points touched on by this author through this story. He had a very special talent for taking a simple incident from nature and connecting it with important lessons of human life. Now, in this lesson, His First Flight, he tells the story of a young seagull that is afraid to fly. But actually, through this bird, the author represents every human being who feels afraid to take the first step in life. The young seagull's journey teaches us that fear is natural, but we must overcome it. Yes. Confidence comes only when we try. Yes. Hidden abilities come out when we face challenges. Some of his famous works include The Informer and Famine. Limo Flaherty passed away on 7th September 1984, but his stories continue to inspire readers even today. Now, in very simple words, Limo Flaherty used the story of a small bird to teach a big life lesson. What is the name? What is the lesson, children? And that is believe in yourself and overcome your fears. So, with this small information about Limo Flaherty, we'll get into the lesson his first flight. Now, come on, children, open your books and come to the lesson page. And with my explanation, if you run down your fingers on the lines, it will be easy for you all to understand what I am teaching. Okay, children? So, are you all ready? So, will you all listen? So, here in this lesson, when I go ahead, I'll be touching upon the vocabulary and the meanings of the new words and the lines, important lines. So, take a pencil, underline the words and underline the lines that I am teaching. So, every line that I am touching upon, it may be asked for you for reference of context. Okay. So, now coming to the line, the young seagull was alone on the hedge. So, once again, I am repeating the sentence, underline the sentence, children. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. So, coming to the explanation of this, students, the story opens with a young seagull sitting all alone on a high rock near the sea. So, you must have understood why that seagull is standing there. All his family members have already left the place because they have already learned how to fly. But this young bird is still sitting there because he is afraid to fly. The word alone shows not only that he is physically alone, but also shows his loneliness, fear, and helpless condition. So, once again, I am repeating the sentence, children. The young seagull was alone on his ledge. So, you must have understood why that seagull is waiting there and why the seagull is looking at the other birds when they are flying. Now, underline the word seagull, a bird that lives near the sea and eats fish. Seagull, a bird that lives near the sea and eats fish. Now, coming to ledge, a narrow flat part of a cliff or rock. Underline the word ledge, children, a narrow flat part of a cliff or a rock. I would like to give a small example on that. A bird made its nest on the ledge of a mountain. So, I am using this ledge in my own sentence. So, to build up the vocabulary, it's important. A bird made its nest on the ledge of a mountain. So, what is the life connection here? Sometimes, when our friends achieve something and we cannot do it, we also feel alone like the seagull. So, it is the connection between the bird and it looking at the other birds. So, coming to the next line, children, his two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. Underline that sentence, children. So, here I am giving you the explanation line by line. His two brothers and his sister had already flown away the day before. So, coming down to the explanation of this line, the young seagull was not only the only young bird in the family. He had two brothers and one sister too. They also had to learn how to fly. They also faced the same height and the same sea, but they trusted themselves and flew successfully. The young seagull was the only one left behind. So, what is the hidden meaning here? I would like to give you that also. The author wants to show that everyone gets the opportunities, but success depends on courage. Got my point, children? So, everyone will be getting the opportunities in their lives, but success depends on the courage. So underline this line also, children. The next third line. He had been afraid to fly with them. Underline. He had been afraid to fly with them. So what is the explanation of this? What is the main problem of this young seagull? Was he injured? No. Were his wings weak? No. Did anyone stop him? No. Who stopped him? Only his fear stopped him. Because he was not injured, his wings were not weak, and nobody has stopped him. And who has stopped him? Only the fear in his heart has stopped him. He thought, what did he think? What if I fall? What if my wings fail? So these are the questions that rose in the heart of this seagull. So what is the life lesson that you have to learn from this? Students, imagine your teacher asks you to give a speech. Some students think, what if I forget? Others may laugh. Because of fear, they don't even try, right? The young seagull also made the same mistake. So don't ever do that, children. So I hope you have understood the meaning of that line. So go to the next line, children. Underline this too. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. Now, coming down to the explanation of this line. Once again, I'll repeat the line, children. Search for it and underline. Somehow, when he had taken a little run forward to the brink of the ledge and attempted to flap his wings, he became afraid. So, what is the explanation of this? So, what did the young seagull actually try to? It tried to fly. He came forward. He reached the edge. He was ready. But at the last moment, fear controlled him. When he saw the distance below, he lost confidence. So this is the meaning of the line above. He came forward, children. He reached the edge of the ledge. He was ready to fly, but at the moment fear controlled him. When he saw the distance below, he lost his confidence. So, what are the new words in the above lines? Brink, the edge of something. Underline the word brink, children. The edge of something. So what is the example here? The boy stood at the brink of the river. Attempt, to try. So give me an own sentence on that. Always attempt difficult questions. Flap, move wings up and down. Example, the bird flapped its wings. The bird flapped its wings. Why am I giving you own sentences is, writing the own sentence using the vocabulary always enhances the rich capacity of building up your own sentences. So continue to do that. The next line. The great expanse of the sea stretched down beneath. So what is the explanation of this sentence? When the seagull looked down, he saw the huge sea. The sea looked very large and frightening. The height of the cliff increased his fear. Actually, the sea was not his enemy. His imagination created danger. Children, we can see the situation here. Every day the seagull, it looked at the sea. It is not new to it. But even then, so what is dominating here? The fear is dominating. The height of the cliff is not dominating, or the height of the cliff is not a new thing for it, but what is controlling him? Fear is controlling him. Actually, was the sea its enemy? Not at all, because every day it is staying with the sea, looking at the sea, and it is quite familiar with the sea. But what is controlling it? The fear is controlling. His imagination created danger. Now coming down to the vocabulary, expanse. E-X-P-A-N-S-E. Very large area. So what is the example for that, or the sentence that I am giving you for that is, the desert was a huge expanse of sand. And the next line, It was such a long way down, miles down. It was such a long way down, miles down. The young seagull felt that the sea was extremely far below. The writer shows the thoughts of the birds. Actually, it may not be miles, but because of fear, everything looked bigger. So, what is the life lesson that you have to learn? Children, before an examination, some students may think like this: the paper will be impossible. But after writing, they realize it was manageable. Fear makes problems look very large. Children, once again think about the life example that I have given you. Retrospect and overcome your fears. Coming to the next line, he felt certain that his wings would never support him. He felt certain that his wings would never support him. The young seagull believed that his wings were not strong enough, but this was a wrong belief. His brothers and sisters had also the similar wings and they flew. His weakness was not physical, children, here. His weakness was mental. So, what is the important point that you have to keep in your mind? Success depends not only on ability but also on confidence. The next line for explanation is: so he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge. Once again, underline that sentence. So he bent his head and ran away back to the little hole under the ledge. Coming down to the explanation, instead of facing fear, he escaped. He returned to his safe place. This shows that he lacked courage. So, vocabulary, children, underline the words bend, lower or curve. Escape, move away from difficulty. So, these are the two words that you have to underline and write the meanings. So, what is the moral explanation given, students? The young seagull teaches us that many times we stand very close to success, but at the last moment, fear pulls us back. The first step is always difficult, children. Once we take that step, our confidence grows. So, once again, I will give you the words in revision: seagull, seabird, ledge, narrow rock shelf, brink, edge, attempt, try, flap, move wings, expanse, large area, afraid, fearful, support, hold and help. So, using those words, enrich your vocabulary, children. So, coming to the next line in continuation with the above, the next line is: his father and mother had come around calling to him shrilly, upbraiding him, threatening to let him starve on his ledge unless he flew away. Wow, what a sentence! Students, the young seagull's parents saw that their child was afraid. They came near him and tried to motivate him. First, what did they do? They called him loudly. They encouraged him to fly. But what happened? When he did not listen, they even threatened him. They scolded him. They even warned him that they would not give him food if he refused to fly. The parents here were not angry because they did not hate him. They were strict, yes, because they wanted their child to become brave and independent. So every scolding has a reason at home and in the school too. So everyone is your friend, children. So listen to their instructions carefully. Now coming down to the vocabulary here, shrilly, in a very loud, high-pitched voice. Example, the bird cried shrilly. Upbraiding, scolding. The mother upbraided the child for his mistake. Please underline all these words. Starve, suffer because of no food. Animals starve when they can't find their food. Here I would like to stress upon the life lesson. Sometimes parents force children to study or try new things. At that time, children feel bad, but parents do it for their future. And here I would like to insist a point on not only the parents but also the teachers at school. They insist you to do things or try new things. The next line, very, very important. But for the life of him, he could not move. Underline that sentence, children. But for the life of him, he could not move. Now, what is the explanation for that? The young seagull wanted to obey his parents. He wanted to fly. But what's happening here? His fear was so strong that he could not even move. His body was ready. His mind is stopping him. Fear can sometimes control our actions. Example, shall I give you one? Yes. A student knows the answer but becomes silent on stage because of nervousness. Yes. That's the best example that I can quote for you. So, retrospect, think properly. So, come out of your fear. Understood? The whole world is waiting for you. Fly from that ledge of that fear into the big world outside. The next line to continue with. That was 24 hours ago. So, what is the explanation for that? One whole day passed. For 24 hours, he stayed alone. His family left him without food because they wanted him to make an effort. Yes. So, very nice explanation is given. So, how the bird was left all alone on the ledge by the family members. So, they wanted to teach him to come out of fear. Since then, nobody had come near him. Underline this sentence. Since then, nobody had come near him. So, coming down to the explanation of that, his family did not visit him. They were teaching him an important lesson. Sometimes we learn only when we face difficulties. Definitely. The next line is, the day before, all day long, he had watched his parents flying about with his brothers and sisters. Underline this sentence is very, very important. So, what did the seagull do? It watched his family members enjoying their freedom. They were flying beautifully in the sky. He also wanted that happiness. But what made him stand like that on the ledge? Fear kept him away. Fear kept him away. So, don't be caught. Get caught into the fear. The next line to be explained is, they were perfecting them in the art of flight. The parents were training the young birds. They were teaching them how to fly properly, how to control the wings, how to catch the food. So, what is the important word in the above line? Perfecting. Improving a skill through practice. So, coming down to the example given there. So, the dancer perfects dance by practicing daily. The next line. He had seen his older brother catch his first herring. One more very important sentence here. He had seen his older brother catch his first herring. His brother had become independent. He learned how to catch fish. The parents praised him. So, what is the word there? Herring. A type of small fish. Then, next line. He then had found a dried piece of eggshell to eat. The young seagull was extremely hungry. He searched everywhere for food. He found only a dry eggshell. This shows his helpless condition. How helpless he is, because he was left alone on the ledge and no one is helping him. His parents have left, his brothers have left him, his sister has left him. So let us see what will happen in the next line. He even gnawed at the dried pieces of eggshell. Because of hunger, he tried eating the eggshell. He did not even know what to do. Gnaw. Bite repeatedly. The meaning of the word gnaw. Bite repeatedly. What is the example? The mouse gnawed the wood. The mouse gnawed the wood. He saw his mother tearing at the piece of fish. So, what is the explanation of that? The hungry young seagull saw his mother eating fish. The sight of food increased his hunger. He uttered a low cackle, underline that sentence too. He made a sound asking his mother for food. He wanted her attention. No. But did the mother help him? Definitely no. Okay? Uttered, made a sound, spoke. Cackle, a sharp bird sound. She halted, her legs hanging limp, her wings motionless. She halted, her legs hanging limp, her wings motionless. The mother flew towards him with the fish. The young bird became happy, but suddenly she stopped. She purposely stayed away. What did she do? She did not move towards the seagull. She just stood there and she was watching the seagull. Halted, stopped, motionless, without movement. The next line is, then maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. Then, maddened by hunger, he dived at the fish. This is the turning point of the story, children. His hunger became stronger than his fear. Without thinking, he jumped towards the food. So, what are the words here in the line? Maddened, unable to control emotions, dive, jumped down suddenly. With a loud scream, he fell outwards and downwards into space. So, underline this very important sentence. So, what is the explanation for this? The young seagull left the cliff. At first, he started falling. He became extremely frightened. He thought he would die. He thought he would die. Then, underline the next. Then a monstrous terror seized him. Then a monstrous terror seized him. A great fear filled his mind. So what happened? What is the word here? Monstrous. Very huge. Terror. Extreme fear. Seized. Took control. See the next line? His heart stood still. This doesn't mean his heart really has stopped, children. It means he was extremely scared. What is the example here? When we suddenly see danger, we say, my heart stopped for a moment. So, like that, the seagull's heart has also stopped for a moment. The next line, but it only lasted a minute. His fear lasted only for a short time. Soon, he discovered something amazing. He felt his wings spreading outside. So, once again, underline this sentence. He felt his wings spreading outwards. So, what is the explanation giving over here? Naturally, his wings opened. His body knew how to fly and finally used the ability he has already had. He was no longer afraid. Underline this sentence too. So, what is the explanation of this line? His confidence replaced the fear. The thing he feared most became enjoyable. He was soaring gradually downwards and outwards. Now he was flying smoothly in the air, soaring, flying high and smoothly. What is the example for this? One sentence, own sentence. The eagle soared above the mountains. He flapped his wings and soared upwards. Now he had full control on his flight. He moved his wings and went higher and higher. He became very confident. So now what did he utter? He uttered a joyous scream. So what is the explanation for this sentence? He cried happily because he achieved success. His first flight gave him happiness. His mother swooped past him. So what happened there? What is the explanation of this sentence? His mother swooped past him. His mother flew near him very happily. She succeeded in teaching him. So what is the meaning of the word swoop? Move quickly through the air. His parents, his brothers and sister were flying around him. His family was celebrating his victory. They were proud because he overcame fear. He was floating on the sea. After flying, he landed on water. At first he was afraid, but then he realized he could float. He had made his first flight. What is the explanation for this? This is the very Very, very important sentence, children. He had made his first flight. The young seagull defeated his fear, discovered his strength, became very independent, and gained confidence. Children, once again I would like to explain this sentence. Very, very important sentence, children. What happened at the end? The seagull has realized that it had inner strength, that it had to become independent, and it also gained confidence. The 4 points which you have to remember in your life too. You have to defeat your fear. You have to discover your strength. You have to become independent and you have to gain confidence. So, what is the moral explanation for the students? I would like to give you. The seagull's wings represent your talents, children, and the cliff represents your problems. The sea represents your fear. The first flight represents the first success. Children, remember, fear says you cannot, but your confidence says try once. Once again, fear says you cannot. Confidence says try once. The moment you try, children, you will discover your real strength. Children, once again, I wish you good luck and never bend before fear. Always put your head high in confidence and move towards your goal. So may God give you a happy life and a successful stories leaving behind. So all the best, children. I hope all of you have understood my lesson. So once again listen to it. Kindly be patient and listen and listen and listen. Okay? Thank you very much. I stay behind with love. Yours, Mrs. Prasanna Raj. Bye bye.